coming at it from that angle, we've frequently discussed how sometimes the constraints of certain things, certain art forms, actually can propel you forward if you embrace them versus being something that holds you back. Have you found that to be the case with the radio drama? You already talked about like starting to write specifically for sounds, right? Where the screenplay, for anyone who has not read a screenplay, everyone here has, but like there's a lot of visual cues. But now that you're doing radio, you got to start thinking, like what's the ambient sound? What's going on around the person? Has that been something as you've gotten more and more into it that's become, a help rather than a hindrance?
Oh, I think so. I think the quality of the shows has improved a lot. For example, the shows that Billy Joe and I do together, Rum Runner Sue, there is, of course, it's sort of a rule of thumb in screenwriting: avoid narration. Even though a lot of movies with heavy narration are brilliant, it is, at least in the old days, it was viewed as a bit of a crutch, narrative crutch. You can move the story along. I don't think that way in audio at all. I think having our main character talk directly to the audience can be a really valuable part of the story. And that's, I suppose, a constraint. I think in Billy Joe's case and in Sue's case, it's more a matter of getting to know a little more about Sue, because if listeners who don't follow the show, what have we done, Billy Joe? Like 5 or 6 episodes of this so far? 4?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, because we only did one.
Is it just 4? I know. I'm sorry.
We actually have a playlist of it available. Like whatever you have on YouTube is available. If you go to the Scratch Claw Push YouTube channel, there's a list of stuff that Billy has done. I want to say there's at least 4, maybe 5.
Well,
I thought there was
I've
more.
done 4 Rum Runner Sues and then Frozen Frights Quarantine.
Yeah, I remember that
right.
one.
Okay. There was 5 shows with Icebox Radio. Where was I going with this?
Well,
the constraints. Yeah, the constraints of audio. That's one example. The narration, it's not even really narration. It gives us an opportunity to learn something about the mystery we're trying to solve, and also something
more like an interior monologue.
Yeah, a little bit. It's, the best book on this subject is called Theater of the Imagination by Neil Verma, who is an academic. And he wrote this specifically for deans of theater programs at universities around the country. He either went to the University of Chicago and works at Northwestern, or those two are reversed. He went to Northwestern and works at the University of Chicago. But it's an academic approach to audio drama that's really fascinating. And he spends a lot of time talking about the space within a play and what are we occupying exactly? Because they don't always make sense. Like, okay, when Sue starts to talk directly to the audience, where exactly do we exist? Because the rest of the story would be a scene taking place between actors, which in the classical style, I try and make as much like the audience is a fly on the wall. All right, so I want to have these 2 characters side by side, and then I want some sounds in the background, quietly suggesting where we are. Are we in the restaurant? Are we off in the woods? What's going on? And try and make that realistic as possible. It's even, if we do a studio piece, I even like to pan the 2 actors slightly. So one's off in your right ear and one's in your left ear somewhat. But okay, we know where that is, but where are we when Sue is talking? Is it just narration, or is this other space that we're occupying? Highly recommend that book. Generally, I don't think of audio as having too many limitations, other than, like I say, the fact that the audience is blind. You can't have an actor, oh my God, look at that, and then not somehow tell them what it is they're supposed to be looking at.